Dear ladies, Twilight has been filmed for you. But here's a review made for guys. Run. Here you will find only pain, suffering, and hatred. The best film of the year 2009, the best female role breakthrough of the year, best actor, best fight, best kiss. Yes, according to the TV versions, but still. The fees are 400 million with a budget of 37. God, we should have the same numbers. And all thanks to one loving woman. No, not Belim, but her mother, who could not pass by another 40-plus boy, and urgently drove off on her honeymoon, so that her daughter would not disrupt her nighttime leisure every time, asking for a cream to moisturize her teeth. Quickly and decisively fused her biological father. And now the father and daughter are already rolling to their native village with the appearance that someone has spoiled the air in the cabin, and does not confess, after which the father still decides to start a conversation with the topic that his daughter has grown up. They have already grown. But Bella does not remain in debt, and already from the threshold, she fucks her father. That his two-story house is somehow not fully thought out for all her wishes. I sorted out the plan on the shelves in the bathroom.
Great. One bathroom.
Damn, he behaves as if he will live in Lebedev's family. Dad goes to the bathroom for a maximum of 3 minutes in the morning to smooth out his mustache. Although, considering that Bella's emotional background is lower than Puddle's, perhaps it was, on the contrary, a joy that there is at least one bath in the house.
Great. One bathroom.
To cheer up her daughter, Botek adjusts her sharpener, without even asking if she knows how to drive. Apparently he thought that if he knocked someone down, then he, as the local sheriff, would sort everything out. I also strained the neighbor's boy Mukhtar to carry out full maintenance on the clunker, which Bella very badly pretends that she is delighted. Oh my God.
I'm just trudging along.
And when Bella thought that everyone was coming down now, and she would forget about this piece of rust, Mukhtar does not lag behind, and shows the inexperienced girl how to pull the lever correctly.
This one, right.
Yes, sharper.
Clearly.
When any person on the first day at a new school would park such a bucket away, Bella falls into the main parking lot, because I don't give a shit that everyone will burn out. But she is lucky that there is an alternative school here and no one suits her, but half the school already knows her. And everyone wants to be friends. Although if a girl came to school who barely utters words and smiles, as if needles are inserted under her nails, they would not really perceive her at all as something that exists. And certainly would not be put on a golden stool called "Everyone is Crazy About Bella." You. Isabella, right?
You're from Arizona, right?
Isabella Swan. I'm Eric, the eyes and ears of the school. He's a snitch. And even after Bella didn't show the best physical fitness, she tries to be as friendly as possible. Hi, I'm Mike. That's what a cop's daughter means. Although, maybe this is also due to the fact that everyone at school is sick. Bella, look, it's a worm. A worm. The snitch, for example, is trying to find out who Bella will be poisoned with. You've decided with whom. Will you get poisoned? You'll get poisoned. And Mike hints that if they make friends, he will show her a special form of sexual contact. Oh, do you like it? Yes. Happy Kai. Girlfriend. If I were Mike, I would have started in a more romantic way, with flowers or an unusual gift. After getting married, I realized an important thing. This is slavery.
Just kidding.
And then a family of hookahs appears in the canteen, who, like from a soap factory, always walk in a crowd, and they don't need to eat. But for some reason they still come to the canteen, and it's not clear what the fuck they go to school for. And Dick is generally more than 100 years old, and judging by the hats of graduates, he only does what he studies. How did he not go crazy for years to study the same program? What's the point of going to school for years on end, when you're an immortal super strong being, and you can get high around the world? I ran, for example, to the bank at super speed, raised some money, and get high. Here's David from Teleport, did everything right when he got super strength. But why sit in one place if the whole world is open to you? But it's really fucked up to have limitless abilities and stupidly go to school when people go there to get an education, then find a job and earn a living. Vampires don't really need it. Eternal school. Fabulous doll. Well, the last one to pull up to the canteen is Eric, with a hairstyle, as if he had a fight with a stun gun and won. And Bella immediately puts her eye on him.
Look at him. She can get pregnant from one photo.
Okay, you're right. And the hookahs look far from 17 years old. They were also pale, with detached faces, constantly changing burning eyes. Which immediately raises only one question. What did you take? Coke with Garrick? Or did he get drunk with us from a friend? Jasper, in general, as it turns out, recently shed a human, and he has a frenzied withdrawal. He goes to school, where he can eat someone in a fit. Jasper has recently become a vegetarian, and it is still difficult for him.
So, drug.
And at school, as it turns out, your personal brand of heroin can show up, and you can even break down and arrange a bloodbath at once. And this one, when she put it on Bella, remains to drill her with a look, like an alcoholic checking in a store. Instead of dumping into the woods and twisting on a deer to let her go. But in the sense of drinking deer and blood, they only eat animals. Bella too. He sees that Eddie is clearly with fucking habits. Even a word doesn't tell him why he's staring at her like that.
What hatched?
And after that, Edic tries to take time off from lessons, but the teacher writes him a stop. So we'll have to be patient. Kick-Ass, a vampire who is 100 years old and who sucks, is afraid to leave school, otherwise Daddy will do that. Although he calmly skips the next few days, what is he doing now? Breaking the comedy. That he can't leave, and twitches like girls. Even his father doctor won't explain. But and Bella has been waiting for him at school all these days to run into him. What does he not like the laundry soap with which she washes?
I decided to waylay him and demand an explanation.
But as soon as the plasterer returned, Bella got lost, because here went the best tackle from a man who has lived for more than 100 years and has to seduce girls at once. Are you enjoying the rain? Damn, he behaves like he's really 17. He's over 100 years old, and he has to make a little different approach. And tell me, please, are you aware that there was a war, a revolution? Who was Lenin, Stalin?
Of course. I'm just not really into history. I'm more into math.
Tell me.
I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Do you have lenses? The eyes were black last time, but now they are golden brown.
Did you throw something? Go prescribe charcoal, take activated. Well, then Belly is lucky that Edic stayed in the parking lot to check out her bumper, and did not leave right away with his own. Because one Jonga put cool discs, but did not change the bald rubber, and only thanks to Edward's trained hand. Only Jonga's car suffers. In the hospital, Bella meets her future father-in-law, who, at the request of her son, conducts a test for her future daughter-in-law. There is no head injury. After that, Eddie tries to pretend to be a fool when Bella demands answers from him. What kind of captaincy of America? He arranged in the parking lot, and Eddie, when he had at least 2 hours of time to think, did not come up with anything better than that.
How? You were there so quickly.
I was standing there. He could have just said that he was like Volodya Shmendenko, and that was it.
It's a fake wave? It's like my warm-up.
After that, Eddie, as a vampire with experience, did not come up with a better pastime than sitting in Bella's room and watching her sniffle in her sleep. I love watching you sleep.
Oh, how sweet. Have you been doing this for a long time?
Well, just a couple of months. Although considering that he can move at almost light speed, technically he could not only look, and Bella would not have had time to feel anything. Along the way, he did so. No wonder her legs don't hold her up in the morning anymore. And apparently vampires do not accumulate life experience over the years, and brain development remains the same as it was at the time of transformation. Otherwise, it is stubbornly unclear why Eddick continues to behave like an unstable teenager. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Bella, we can't be friends. And he is constantly ringing nearby. Lucky for him that there was the same mandrake, and already it is rushing like a drill at the one who boards it. We can't be friends.
I should have thought about it earlier.
That is, it's too late. That is, if you decide that you are friends with him, then that's it. The kid has no way back. Although considering that she gives out such tips like this, then Eddie really can't get away from her now.
Go ahead. You're strong and independent.
Feminism of some kind. She's not a feminist. Eddick refuses to go with everyone to the beach, where the werewolves, who have a contract with their knees not to appear on their territory. Do not tell anyone, take and generate interest in Bella. Viburnums don't come here. Oh, here's the intrigue. Why would they come here if they are urban? They have cars and other interests. Well, they don't like to freeze eggs in cold water. But Mukhtar cannot answer like that. He begins to leak even more information, about which everyone should be silent. My great-great-grandfather, the chief, saw them hunting on our land, but they said they were different, and we made a contract with them. Damn, that's the point of Cali for us to be encrypted like that, to go to school, to work like ordinary people. If some kid from the reservation tells right and left about them. Moreover, Mukhtar is aware that Bella is already communicating with Eddick and does not warn her in any way. That it is better to avoid the pale handsome. Further, they are their promises of people not to eat or not. They are still vampires, which look like human blood sausage. And Bella can become missing at any moment, and the main werewolf already knows that vampires are killing people in the city. All he did was express concern. We don't want blood to flow.
Friends, well, and Kidalova.
And as it turns out in the next part, the Indians here have their own puppy patrol to control the area from bloodsuckers. They have 3 left-wing vampires in the city. They have already begun to gnaw people, and these do nothing. Cool jacket. The dude is 400 years old. He collects things from corpses for himself. Somewhere now Victor is not fucking like a child. Cool jacket. For men dig up to Bella, and as soon as she rang one of his bells, Eddie appears and drives away the Gapota with his stale breath. Wow, guys, his bite is wrong. Let's get out. For the first time I see such Gopars, like the militants are also drunk, but they stop the growl of some teenager. Although they should have immediately tried to give him pussy, but nothing would have worked out. But they don't know yet. The kid is a student. Looks like a schmuck. Chartered the 4 of us, you know. Like this one. Bruce Lee. Eddick too, no, he would once again get out in front of the chick. He didn't even prescribe it to anyone in the scoreboard. So that there was, oh, what a hero, I would have wetted his seat right away, and he only started waving his fists after a fight. I should go back and tear my head off.
Well, let's go back, and you'll give them pussy for me, okay? The usual Pentoras, right?
There is still no way to lead home. First, the cunning beetle took her to her friends, so that everyone could see that Bella was now the first handsome of the school. On his wheelbarrow. I think it's my duty to feed Bella. I'll pump you my mayonnaise.
He's caring, very caring.
He didn't order anything for himself in the restaurant, which would make anyone think that he doesn't have enough money, which may not be enough for her, since he can't buy food for himself right now.
Are you sure you don't want to eat?
And so that Bella doesn't have time to realize that the kid is without money, Eddie pretends that he can read minds. Anyone in this room? Always money, sex, money, sex. Well, as for me, Eddie did. I can't believe that not a single guy in a restaurant thinks about the Roman Empire. Well, Bella's house is so conveniently located on the road with a pier, where they have already found a man who was dealt with by a modern Disney Trinity, and where he shows his analytical talent. I examined the corpse.
Is he dead?
Well, yes, he found a corpse that is alive. This is the error of our dubbing. Caroline said he examined the body. Abella just asked if he was dead. Well, since this is the second murder, when the victim is torn apart by an incomprehensible beast, it comes to Googling all the quirks that Edith does, and Google gives out that her boyfriend is a vampire. And when it was possible to ask him about it at school, she went to the forest, where if it turns out that he was courting her in a special way, so that to devour she wouldn't have had a chance at all.
You have pale, icy skin. You never drink or eat. You avoid the sun. I know who you are.
Tell me.
You're a medical student.
Naturally. And then Eddick turns on his favorite brain mode. Fabulous. When he himself has not been eating people for a long time, he begins to frighten the already frightened girl even more. So ask a question. What are we eating? And then, in order to push Bella away from herself, so that she sees what a freak he is, he presents himself under the sun, where he looks just like another Kirkorov costume. It's a killer's skin, Bella.
But don't make a big deal out of a molehill.
And it turns out that the local vampires have no negative and weak sides at all. Strong, fast, immortal. They are not afraid of garlic, the sun, or the tax. Bella should have been clinging to Edward's legs by now and begging him to turn her. He's acting out a drama here about how bad it is to be a vampire. If he wanted to disappoint the girl so much, he could have eaten a deer in front of her. But Eddick continues his presentation, and that he is specifically pinned by Bella. You're my personal brand of heroine. It's always been interesting how Edward holds back when Bella has critical days. Or is he not holding back?
Darling, here you go. Just freshened it up.
I can't read your mind. Tell me, what are you thinking about?
I think when the second part of Batman comes out, it would be time already.
I've been waiting for you for so long.
Very nice.
And in my opinion, just a delusional. The lion fell in love with the sheep. You think you're talking leather. So ask your main question.
Will you even give me an iPhone? Or do you think I'm just going to fuck around in the damp forest with you?
The next day, Eddie is already starting to drive Bella to school, where, of course, the relevant rumors went. The sledge got caught. Yedick is still a kid with real intelligence. He's been dating a girl for just 2 days, and has already decided to take her home, to get acquainted with his own. Although the fuck else knows what it was like there. And it's better not to reveal the secrets of your family to her ahead of time. I'll take you to my place tomorrow.
What? To your family?
Go ahead. And then Eddie smelled enemies. The werewolf Indians are approaching, with whom, although there is a peace treaty, it is better to show their ignorance once again with a glance. Oh boy, will you swing with me? Shit is going on at the screenings. Edic did not agree with his friends that they should not cook anything, since Bella would only check out his room, and they would immediately jump off into the woods. And these were made as for the new year. If it so happened, Eddie could have kept silent and fed Bella.
You're hungry, aren't you? Yes, of course.
She ate. Bella, in order to defuse the situation, tries to show off her knowledge of vampires.
I just know. I know you never eat.
Here, after spilling a carrot at school, he plays or takes it in his mouth for show, and then spits in the toilet. But almost. The book said that vampires could eat ordinary food, but it tasted like earth to them. It was not digested, and they had to induce vomiting. Well, the rumtum continues. My room.
I liked your magazines.
Really? Great. And this one? Have you seen this one? But then she was upset that in the course of everything that she had planned for herself, it breaks off.
And the bed.
Along the way, she's from a state where this one doesn't count as a bed. And until Edic realized that she was talking bullshit, he immediately takes the conversation in the other direction.
He was already twisting it at me. Yes.
No, I'm not.
At all.
Never. Well, clearly. Clearly. Edic commands jump in, turns on the speed of the jet plane, and went to jump through the trees. Not thinking that Bella was already a kilometer ago, she was not insured at altitude either. As if she was sure that her family raised monkeys. And when he returned to the hut, he did not show her the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Abysite on the piano. The brigade. And since love is in full swing, but his relatives won't let them live normally in Edic's house, they set their eyes on the house of Body Bella. And the daughter begins implementing a plan to relocate her father to a drug treatment center.
Hold another one.
Thank you. Baseball begins, which is more like a dialogue from adult films.
Keep them in line, Bella. It's going to be a home run, right? Edward is very fast. My orangutan.
Great pussy. And why is Bella here, who risks leaving here immediately for the cemetery? If Esm hadn't caught this ball, Bella, in the best-case scenario, would be going to the hospital with a craniocerebral injury right now. Well, and when an enemy-sucking tooth ensemble appears, and Potash is aware that these are the same ones who are eating people in their city, Eddie, while they were leaving the forest, did not think to carry Bella away on his hump. Carlyle immediately shows the strays that they wandered into someone else's garden and didn't even ask for permission. You've been hunting here recently, and it's made life difficult for us. Then why didn't you, who has a contract with werewolves, organize a joint search for alien vampires? Why didn't I ask my daughter, who sees the future, to monitor the neighborhood and find them? Moreover, when the match vampire caught the smell of Bella, and the situation escalated, and the viburnums could crush them cleanly here with a crowd, they do nothing. Even Eddie, when he read the thoughts of the match that he would not stop, stupidly swallowed, and let everything down on the brakes. My reaction on the field turned him on. It's an exciting game for him now, when he could just throw himself into a fight, and his family would definitely support him, and everyone would be killed here. And now I have to come up with all sorts of crap to throw off Bella's trail, a vampire with 400 years of experience. This is also his whole planet, where for every taste, color and size, he's some kind of rural gray mouse stuck. What is it, I wonder, that white people have for blood, that everyone wants it so much? Maybe there's beer in it. Yes, and the macho motives, sucked out of his finger, are seen by Edic for the first time, but he decided that he would kill Bella. Take pictures of all this and throw Edic into the cart so that he would suffer. It would break Edward's heart. Why would he do that? There is zero motive. For him, Edic is a completely unfamiliar vampire, and he got angry at him. As if he constantly occupies a parking space in the yard here. Even his kin gut understands that the macho is completely fucked up and comes with a guilty Callan. The truth doesn't give a damn useful information. I'm tired of his games. but he has an impeccable nose. He's deadly. And another woman, Victoria. She's a strong enemy. And how is that supposed to help? Completely empty information. It would be better to tell them where they are now, perhaps, or lead them into an ambush where they would be killed by viburnums. And only Rosalie continues to be a jerk and does not want to participate in this whole special vampire operation.
Why? Who is she to me?
But the head of the family watches the right movies and quickly suppresses an alternative point of view. She is a member of our family, and we protect the family. Handsome. And so that Bella's father does not get hit, Bella plays a movie that she is leaving for her mother. This is observed by a macho man, of course believes in this production, and even when he lost track, he does not use his father as a hostage. He got confused, drove her to Bella's house in another state to wait for Bella to call her mother, in order to make Bella believe with a voice from a videotape that his mother was being held hostage. Only you have to get away from your friends. And Bella, of course, quietly leaves, so as not to have any chance of survival at all. One will come to the match, he will soak her in any way, and for the company, he can also kill his mother. Their blood is the same. And here, in any case, it was necessary to inform Callan. It's better to risk saving your mother with them than to go to certain death alone. Eric's relatives are also great. They both dumped somewhere and left Bella alone. When Matcha can show up at any moment, he would have enough seconds to bite Bella. And Bella, if she had asked the macho man to let her talk to her mother normally, his whole plan, designed for a thin one, would have failed.
Bella.
Well, and Macho, when you don't know, didn't Bella tell Callan? Or maybe the vampire special forces are already surrounding the building. And time is running out. We need to drink Bella and get out. I arranged a transfer for myself at Mom's TikToker, which extends my already shitty plan. And so, the vegetarian Edic, fueled with deer blood, grabs the cradle from the natural Macho in full, but as soon as he made a belly piece, the gene is activated in Adiki, its variance from a parallel universe. And the Macho loses activity sharply. My son, that's enough. Remember who you are. Bella is starting to transform, and it's kind of nice. It will be possible to saga together on the rocks, but since she will cease to be a person, Erika will no longer be stuck from her blood, and Bella will become immortal. He planned that when she got old, she would find a new young brand of heroin, so he asks Carlyle for advice on how to reverse the transformation. Do you remember how gasoline was stolen in the 90s? Here, suck with the same force. And it works. The Macho poison, which has already spread throughout the body and penetrated into the cells, is sucked out by Edic with the power of a Dyson vacuum cleaner. And then Bella wakes up in the hospital because the van still crashed into her. She fell into a coma. And everything that happened to her was just a thin-skinned person, because such a happy crap in the form of an ideal immortal guy, who fell for an ordinary quiet girl who had a jammed mouth, in reality could not happen. He's immortal, he's a vampire, he has the whole world at his service. But he chose with an open road. It's some kind of madhouse. He protects her from evil and from one woolly goat.